Hey guys, Jakob here, and welcome to the new episode of Automated Seller Podcast. We have a new special guest that I met in the Lithuania on the conference, Oleg Kuzmenkov, a founder of a seller assistant app. Hi Oleg, how are you?
Hi, Jakob. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. It's been actually a while since I recorded the last episode. I'm actually pushing them constantly since because I have sometimes moments when I record like 5 episodes in a week, then I'm scheduling them. But now I had like a 2 month break, so I'm really I really hope that I'll manage to do this one without really any breaks or any fuck ups kind of. But let's start. Oleg, as I mentioned, we met in Lithuania. I remember you told me that you built this app called Seller Assistant app. So you're the SaaS founder, and actually, I'm really happy that I have you here on one of my episodes because, to be fair, there are not so many SaaS founders that I had the interviews with. They were usually Amazon sellers, Amazon agency owners, sometimes I would say much bigger technological companies founders, so Getida. But at this point, this is not really as a small company. It's like huge companies. So it was very hard for me to talk about this beginnings, the development of the app, and so on. And I know that those topics, those are something that I can definitely speak with you. So I'm really happy to have you here. And maybe before we jump to your journey and then start the beginnings of building your app, maybe you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay. So, my name is Oleg Kuzmenkov. I'm from Eastern Europe, and now I live in Cyprus. And I've been selling on Amazon since 2016. It was nice time when you just send the product to Amazon and get the money back, but everything changed 5 years ago, maybe six. And when I start selling on Amazon, I cannot imagine that it was so easy, right? And I make a big mistake. I didn't take, I I was not serious about Amazon because it was so easy, and I had
Mm-hmm.
mindset, to earn money you need to work hard, but Amazon was different, and it was my mistake. And
Sure. And
a
sorry,
few years,
just to
yeah.
let me ask you here, which marketplace did you sell on?
I sold I was selling on Amazon United States,
Got it.
Amazon.com.
Okay.
So uh, and also my mistake was that I not went from market to customer. I went from what I have to sell, and it's a big mistake when you have a product, for example, and you decide to sell them somehow on Amazon. And
Mm-hmm.
usually this approach leads to failure on Amazon. And in my case, um, it was not a failure, but it was not so good. Uh, I was not so succeed as people who started in the same time and focused on customers, not on goods they have for selling.
Mm-hmm.
And a few years later, I found that Amazon changed their rules and they removed all my reviews on the product. And I faced a choice what to do next. And my friend from United States told me a story how I can sell how I can resell products. Just choosing already existing products on Amazon and reselling them. And he introduced me online arbitrage.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do product research. I invest a lot of my time doing product research, and it was very hard to do that. There was no any automation to speed up this routine, and if you do private label sales, you usually look for a product one time, maybe a few times when you if you launch a few products. But in reselling, you constantly analyze products, hundreds and even thousand products per month. In this case, you need to make a lot of decision every day about every product you spot on Amazon. You analyze the competition, the price, fees. You calculate your profitability. You see if you can sell product on Amazon or not. You need to know whether the product tier, like size tier, oversized, if product oversized or not, if product meltable or not. And Amazon allows you to do that, but if you do it by yourself, you usually open a 10 tabs for one product to get all information. And then you finally need to make a decision, for example, and take all this information to your Google Sheets for future processing. And it was a terrible times. And I found that
and you were doing all of that manually, pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
I did all this stuff manually, and it was terrible. I opened 10 tabs, and finally I forgot why I'm here and what I'm doing here, what I'm going to do next. So I tried. I analyzed 100 products per day, and I feel like I became stupid because of these numbers, right? I do not create any extra value, and I got a fear that my career is over here because I'm not growing as a person, as a professional. And one day I finished analyzing niche and decided to move to another one. And I get stuck because it was too hard to switch a context. So I took a break, and the break is to do something different, right? And I decided to learn how to write Chrome extension.
So like how to code overall, like you decided to teach yourself.
I used to code in school, but I never was a real programmer. So I just decided to learn how to create a Chrome extension on my weekend, and finally I got me on my very first presentation to local community where I present my extension. It was like I disappear for 2 months and appear on webinar where I present what I developed for sellers, and I found that I have a beard, I was not shaved. I was so tired. The summer was missed, but people say.
But you learn how to code and build something. So that's pretty cool.
But I didn't lose any summer sunny days because it was raining all the time this summer. But I get my very first version of the solar system app.
Oh, that's awesome. Before we jump further, actually, here I would love to ask some follow-up questions since we're here, because this is something great actually, that you managed to take a break from this and then learn how to code and just jump directly into full mode into that. So like you were in the zone, you're just like in your programming cave. I remember I had those before, especially before starting Delta Logic, when I was really just doing some like those side projects and so on. Like I had so much time learning and so on. So this is just great that you could actually learn how to code and build something very useful for later on. And tell me, like, what programming language did you start writing it with? Like, what was the first version?
It was an interesting story. When I started learning how to create a Chrome extension, I found all Chrome extension based on JavaScript.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I started learning native vanilla
Was it
JavaScript.
just a plain JavaScript, or was it like
Plain
Node.js?
JavaScript. It was a plain
Plain
JavaScript.
JavaScript.
Yes,
Okay,
and
okay.
then I found that it's not easy to create, for example, div block. It took for 3 or 4 rows in plain JavaScript to create it, and
Yeah.
a few weeks later, I switched to jQuery. And I've built my very first extension based on jQuery.
Got it.
But I know nothing about reactivities that times, and I create a special function which recalculate all the stuff each time I put something into input, etc. And it was like my own reactivity for Chrome extension. And maybe half year ago, I write it from scratch using Vue.js too.
Oh, so you also learned the Vue.js, or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. And actually, like the first MVP app that you said that you locked yourself and you learned how to code, build yourself the app. Could you tell like what was really the inspiration behind it? Like, why did you do it, and what was the purpose of it? Like, how did you use this later on? Because I assumed that, like, okay, that was the beginnings. You've built it, so I assumed there was some usability, that like the functions, so they helped you really and automated your processes, right?
Yeah, correct. And the main idea was to create a tool which helped to automate the everyday routine of product researcher who seeking for a product to resell on Amazon. And the main problem was that actually product researchers do 2 things. First one is browsing and analyzing products. And second one is saving the information to Google Sheets. And, the process of saving is complicated. You do a lot of mechanical work like Alt Tab, Control C, Control V, Alt Tab. And you do if you have, for example, 20 parameters you need to save to Google Sheets, you do that, 2 minutes. And finally, you forgot what you want to do next, what the product you're going to analyze next, or what the brand. And I found that I skipped a lot of such work. I just saved ASINs or ASINs title, price, maybe. And finally, when I go through my Google Sheets, I still not remember why I saved this product. And the main idea was to collect all the important information in one tool and give the ability to export it to Google Sheets in one click. So solving this problem, I just remove a half-time load from product researchers and give them ability to focus on product research itself.
Yes, so, but initially it was just for yourself, right? Like you just built it, and you are just using it. You didn't really build it in the sense that you wanted this app to become the SaaS, right?
I was. I believe somehow this product is needed for our community where I was active. So once I presented to the community, it was appreciated by community, and I get my very first subscribers.
Oh, nice!
And I saw that people love this feature. This feature is needed, but also I saw some skepticism. And I was need to work hard to improve my software to solve some issues of the software. And I believe in this idea because I have no goal to make big SaaS. I know that people need this tool. And I know a lot of software developers who can create amazing things, but they never never live in a real world where the application is applied, right? And sometimes developers just develop a feature by specification, and they never know how it helps and why they do that.
Oh yeah, they don't
But
have just the business knowledge pretty much. They have
yeah,
all of the coding knowledge, but they have zero business knowledge. And I remember that was pretty much, for example, why I decided to start Delta Logics. So I was a coder almost my whole life, and I've been building just side projects. First, I've been doing some coding jobs, like just as working full time as a software engineer, and then I just decided to start a business, but the only business I could start was pretty much a freelance business on building apps for other people. I could never really build an app for myself because I've never really were working like a real job other than software development, right? So my approach was that we first start to build different projects, hire developers, and then kind of go into the niche and at some point build something that can scale. So we are still in the position, fortunately, we are at least in the Amazon community, so we've built multiple different tools, but we never sold anything on Amazon. So this is the only, still like a big problem that we have, that even now, as we see and as we build so many different tools, there's no one tool that we would go all in and be confident that, okay, we can just build this and scale and help people. We are still there. So I fully understand. And actually, I think that this is great. And I know a lot of great SaaSes that came this way because there was a real problem. People need help. Someone built it probably very crappy. Like that's the thing, that you don't need be a great coder with like a software engineer master's degree, but you really need to, at least in the beginning, if something is not that you can kind of have to scale it, you just need to learn code and just build it, just deliver it. So actually that's pretty crazy. And at this point, how old is actually your app since the beginning? Because I assume that it was probably rebuilt multiple times, but I'm really keen to hear more about the insights from this, right? Like, so what kind of version is it now? How did it change since the beginning?
Yeah. Sorry. I started building my app in mid of 2019, and I was solo founder and solo developer and solo marketing.
One man army.
First 2 years, I guess. And in 2021, I decided to hire my very first software developer. My very first employee was software developer. Mm-hmm. Actually, I had a few experience when I have experience when I ask my friend to help me with app a little bit, but it was not full-time employee. Mm-hmm. And in 2021, I hired my very first software developer, and after 2 years after I started developing my app, I finally was able to afford hiring a software developer.
Yeah.
And at this point, everything is changed. But how it would, in 2019, I started developing my tool using Java, vanilla, plain JavaScript, right?
Yeah.
Then I rewrite it using jQuery, and also I had a backend for payment processing. It was developed on actually vanilla, plain PHP.
Oh wow! But
it was plain PHP.
You created payments with plain PHP?
No, not payments. It was like a personal account where you can log in and it was personal account where you can like log in and press a button to pay button to subscribe to the software, and I used PayPal
PayPal, yeah.
as a payment processor because at this
So at
point,
this point, you already wanted to have it as a SaaS, right? So multiple
yeah,
accounts, payments, so people would actually pay to use your software. So that's why you went with PayPal first.
yeah. And the problem was, originally I'm from Belarus, and Belarus is going in a wrong way and in a wrong political way, and
Yeah,
it was under sanction then, and
yeah,
today it's even more under sanctions, right? So there are no any payment processors can be used in when the founder live in Belarus. So I was able to use only the PayPal. My company registered in the United States, and I had a PayPal, so I just get the subscribe button from PayPal,
yeah.
put on in my personal account, and once person gets subscribed, I get a webhook, check it, and put into my database that person is actually
Oh
subscribed.
yeah.
So I have no cancel logic and etc. I just need to build something and figure out will people pay for that or not.
Totally. And actually, so that was like later version of the app. And again, just if you combine it still to the what is it right now? How big is your team, and how many resources did you put already into to the state that it's right now?
Yeah. Okay. Um, uh, when I hired um, the next step was I need to move to the next when I realized that a personal account based on plain PHP is not a good idea. I decided to move to a framework, and I choose PHP Laravel,
Laravel, yeah,
and
that's a good one.
also I used Laravel Spark, I guess Spark. But I choose an older version which supports Braintree. Braintree was available for me, but Stripe wasn't. So I used Laravel Spark as a backend, and now I just use a Laravel without Spark and extra, add-ons. It's a Laravel, and that's it. We also bought admin panel with design, and we have redesigned our personal account. To avoid like blades and etc. We just use Vue.js for front end and Laravel for back end, and also we migrated to Stripe since I fled from Belarus, and now we have a latest version of PHP and Laravel, and also we have latest version of Vue.js. That's it. I have 2-3 full-time software developers, depends on the time. Now I have two and looking to hire one more. Also, we have a product designer who design user interface, who hold user research and help with product and feature specifications. Also, I have a product owner who know about tool everything and help support specialists and QA engineers to understand how things should work and how shouldn't. Also, I have a project manager and quality assurance engineer and one support specialist. this is about how we build our extension. But by the way, I also have a part-time systems administrator who do DevOps magic and deploy our build seamless deployment, etc.
Yeah, that's really great actually. If you really think from the you locked up in the base, starting to code to building like the full SaaS that is in a really modern framework right now, because like the newest version of the Vue.js and the Laravel, like this is pretty much very good tech stack. So that's really great. So I assume you are no longer coding, right? If you have such a great team of developers, or are you?
I'm not coding anymore. Yeah, but by the way, we also use some Python under the hood. We built our own BSR sales model, which work on Python.
Okay, that's
like
really great.
Standalone.
Python was always my first choice of programming languages. Like I'm really in love with Python. I've built multiple apps, scripts, but like yes, since we have a CTO for almost 3 years now, our new tech stack is just Node.js on the backend and React.js on frontend mostly, and then AWS for everything DevOps related. But we also have a lot of clients that are using PHP and Laravel, so we are very familiar with this. So before we jump to the functionalities, features of the app, I would love to ask you also of like a very rough estimate, or like, so on this podcast I really like to educate people on like what it really takes to build the custom software. You basically told us your whole journey from the like multiple different versions, extending the team and so on. But if you could roughly tell like how much resources, like money wise, does it really take from idea to the app that you are currently, right? If someone really have like right now from the community, from people who are listening us, like the app idea and want to build it from scratch, how much of the investment should it be?
In my case, there was zero money investment from the from the beginning, but I really hard invest my personal time.
But like not many people wants to start to code, right? I'm talking about just resources. If you want to right now hire a team to build it, right?
Yeah, and I still made a lot of mistakes by the estimating my resources and investments. For example, we create a big and hard implement specification for new features, and then we find that we spend a lot of time developing it, and it's not going to work, and it will not appreciate by customers, right? So the best idea is to find a very specific problem you can automate in one click, for example, get a job done. In my case, it was give ability to save all the information to Google Sheets in one click. And it's not hard to develop such feature. If you software developer, it can take a week, for example. But if you know how to sell it, how to offer it to audience, it's a big deal. So my competitive advantage was not my software development skills. It was my I was involved in local community, and I know exactly what they need and what they struggle about, and know how. And I just solve this problem and get my very first customers. So actually, I built a Chrome extension for alerting people about about IP complaints on Amazon, and I developed it in one night. It's the very first prototype. But then I spent a week to add some Google Analytics, product analytics to this tool to create a website for it. So the tool itself was developed for one night. That's it, and it still works this way. So if you have a strong technical skills, you probably need to find a person who struggle with something and try to solve it. And I made a lot of mistakes, but I believe I did something right. And when people ask me to solve their problem, they ask me to automate their pipeline. But I always refuse such offers because every team, every company have their own different pipelines. And I was focusing on creating a tool which can be implemented to any company, to any
So
on
pretty
any
much the
stage of the pipeline.
scales.
Yeah. So I developed tool, not a pipeline.
Totally.
But if you develop a tool, it should be integrated. It should be able to integrate it to the pipeline. For example, it needs to have a Google Sheets connector, or maybe Zapier or Make.com connector to to get useful for people who build pipelines.
Totally. No, that's obviously right. If you want to overall build anything, you need to know your audience. You need to know the problem. You need to solve it. So that's for sure. And in order to solve small problems, that there's not much needed, right? But I'm just talking because we have a lot of customers, big sellers, 7-8 figure sellers who are coming to us. Like, we develop those tools, we develop SaaS apps for them. But that's the thing, that usually they come to us and they say, okay, I want to build the next Smart Scout, the next Helium 10 something, and my budget is $10,000, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell, right? That for you, it's been years of trial and error, hiring a multiple team. Now you have quite a nice team of developers, PM, project owner, designer, QA engineer, right? Those are all costs. So that was pretty much my question to you, right? If you were just right now about to have like funds, like I don't know, funding or budget, like how much approximately do you think would such a thing cost to build from scratch to the point that you have right now? Is it like in the hundreds of thousands? Is it like in tens of thousands?
I believe
like
I can build the same tool maybe in 1 or 2 months from scratch. It's not hardest thing to do. I mean, the tool itself, but I invest hard on everything about around it. For example, I have a integrated product analytics. I have a website. I have a blog on my website with 250 blog posts on 4 languages. So I also invest in marketing hardly.
Oh yeah.
And
so like the product itself is not the biggest investment. It's pretty much creating the whole company around that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what really takes a lot of money later on to be able to scale it and sell it.
Yeah, and also I see sometimes, we analyze market, and sometimes we see the same tools as we developed,
Yes.
and they looks good, but they not. They dead for some reason. I don't know, because maybe because they not. They don't know how. The developers don't know how to sell them, right? Maybe they develop their for their own, and they also create a website, for example, but they have no sales. for some
yeah.
reason. So, and if you decide to build, first time founder think about product, but second time founder think about audience, and third time founders think about distribution channels. So, and in my case, when I start to build my product, I think about product itself. But I didn't think about audience and the market. And now I understand the market is not so big for tools like mine, right? And I'm trying to find something else I can offer to sellers who use my software, like next to
So like the upsells pretty much, other
yeah.
tools, exactly.
But
so you have
also,
already your paying audience and you can upsell them.
yeah. For example, my audience start learn Amazon. They decide, okay, there are two ways: or they quit Amazon because they didn't know how to sell on Amazon, or how to build such business, or they understand how to do that and they grow. In first case, I lose customers, so I can offer them some, extra learning, for example, extra course. And in second case, I need to give them a next tool, which is solve different problems, right? But I still have no such tools, so my audience this time it's not so big as I want, to have.
Totally.
But it's about audience, and I also hardly invest in distribution channels. I mean, I try to create, come for your podcast, for example, to spread the word about my app. I try to build partnership with influencers who explain how to achieve selling goals using my extension, for example. And it's very important part of SaaS business. You can the good product will not sell sold itself. You need to sell the product.
Exactly.
You need to push it.
Especially nowadays, that it's much faster, much easier to launch these SaaS. I mean, just like you have so many low code tools, no code tools, like even you mentioned Zapier, Make, and now even it's much easier to code. Like you have so many like SaaS starter kits when it comes to like the front end designs and so on. Like you can just pretty much reuse the blocks, so it's easier than ever to build the app. But yeah, that's the thing, that the competition is there, and you really need to invest heavily into the distribution, into your audience, so marketing in general. So I really like what you are doing, and that you are actually bringing attention to that, because one thing is yes, building the actual software, improving it, but then second thing is to really sell it. So from what I heard multiple times from my friends who are pretty much SaaS founders, is that first you should really launch the MVP, minimum valuable product, like as soon as possible, and get the audience right. It's not worth invest heavily into something that people don't want. So that's great that you had the audience. And Oleg, right now, how many users do you have that are using your software?
I have 50,000 installations on Chrome store.
Wow.
It's like weekly
awesome.
weekly active users, but paying users 10 time I have 10 time less paying users. So
got it. So around 500.
no, it's like sorry 10 time. I have about, at this point I have about 3,000 paying users.
Okay,
It's
but that's
not
awesome.
10 time, no, but
yeah,
it's not a big, but it's not.
I think it's pretty big, to be fair. Like I mean, I have so many friends that are having much smaller
SaaS, we
like
own
SaaS that never took off. So I think that's really cool.
We are on 50,000 monthly revenue, right?
MRR,
Yeah.
monthly recurring revenue. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really great, and I think that people have a lot of things to learn from you, especially for like the SaaS founders. And now, when it comes to the features and the roadmap, how do you define like the next features? Like what really community of the active users or potential users wants? Like how do you develop like and structure your roadmap?
Yeah. First of all, when I started to build my product, I was solo founder, and I had some ideas, and I blindly believe in them, right? And I started developing them and show to my customers. But now we have a team and we have a backlog, and also we use RISE system to to prioritize our tasks. RISE means reach. We have reach, efforts, confidence. I'm not sure that right now. Reach means how many people will reach this feature. For example, some features are needed only by 5%, for example, of customer base.
Yes.
Efforts, we estimate in story points how difficult to develop a feature. Also, we have a confidence. It's like how we feel. Do we feel like we need to implement this feature or not? So, and finally, we get a score. And the task and features with biggest score, they just like a bubble go to the top of the backlog. And every Monday, we took some features from backlog and put to development. So this is how
that's good framework. That's really great framework, and it really makes sense. But like when it comes to your customers, do they have any way of like telling you, okay, please build it to me? Do you have any like internal in the app system that collects feedback from customers and pretty much ask them or like, hey, what should we build next? Because I found this in multiple SaaS tools, and I think it's really great. Do you have anything like that, or how do you collect it?
At this point, not. Actually, we have intercom chat, no, intercom, where we offer support, and also we have requests to build something, and support specialists bring them to Slack, where we discuss features. But we have a lot of users, but they not so often ask us to build something. And usually people even do not understand that something can be built. And if we offer, they just start using it and say, wow, it's a great thing. I don't know how I work without it before. But what we do, we sometimes we interview our customers and get some insights. But also we have some. I spend a lot of time to rewrite this software from Laravel Spark to PHP Laravel and separated front end. And it took a lot of time, but result is, the result is good for our developers who can implement features much faster. But my customers didn't see any difference, And,
I know exactly what you mean. Like this is something that our clients never want to pretty much pay for, right? Like just rewriting the functionality. So it's called
it's like a technical debt.
Refactor, right? Refactoring something. Like customers hate it, but like you have to do that, and it's called the technical debt. Exactly.
And we spend a lot of time refactoring such things to speed up our software development speed. And now I see how we actually speed it up, and I love it. But we lost some time and some different our competitors they implemented few new features we still have no on our site, so we need to reach them, to equalize our features. And
Yeah.
also we focus on something different to offer something different. Even if you use our customer or our competitor software, you will still able to use our tool for different things, right?
Oh
So
yeah, got it.
that's why we try to offer something else. And uh, so I didn't say you about one big step we went through. It was Google Chrome policy change when
Mm-hmm.
uh, Manifest 2 was deprecated
Mm-hmm.
and Manifest 3 was introduced. So now we run on Manifest 3. We run last 2 years, I guess, but our competitors still on Manifest 2, and I believe
Okay.
they will they will spend some time to refactor their code while we will develop features.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, totally. But yeah, Oleg, that was really, really insightful. Thanks a lot for sharing all of like the insights. Like be transparent here. Like our audience here definitely appreciate that a lot, and I'm really happy that I could actually bring you here as a solo SaaS founder, pretty much that can share what it really takes to build like such a tool like your seller assistant app. So the last thing, Oleg, would be if you could just share anything that you like with the audience, if it's regarding the tool or like how people can find you, how people can start using it.
oh, okay. So, if you going to resell products on Amazon, or you already reselling products, like if you do an online arbitrage or wholesale on Amazon, feel free to check our tool at the seller assistant app. Seller assistant dot app. The correct address is seller assistant dot app. This is a Chrome extension which help you to get all the information about product right on Amazon product page, and also you can use it for get some purchasing decision insights like product history. You can see keep a graph here. You can see um, average and historical prices, BSR, etc. Also, it shows you red flags like oversized product, multiple adult flag, uh, etc. And also you can see if you can sell a product on Amazon or you need approval to sell it. And finally, if you decide, go for this product, you can analyze your profitability, write some notes, and save all the information to Google Sheets in one click. So
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, now we're working on side panel. As you know, Google Chrome have a native side panel where you can use some apps, and our Chrome extension also utilize this side panel, which means you can, um, open Amazon search and analyze products on any Amazon on any page in the internet. You just open your supplier website, choose a title or UPC code, and get it in your side panel. See the result, choose a correct product, and analyze it, save it if you need it. So it's pretty must-have tool for online arbitrage and wholesale. And also we have a unique IP alerting feature which informs you about any issues related to products uh, you analyze. And it helps you sell safely and avoid dangerous products. So
Awesome. Yeah, Oleg, was pleasure to have you here. Thanks a lot for coming to the show. I'll make sure also to include all of the information about you and Sales Assistant app in the description. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for watching, for listening. Thanks a lot, Oleg.
thank you, Jakob, for having me on this podcast. It was nice to be here.